When people criticize Xbox's strategy, the go-to complaint is that Nintendo and Sony aren't pushing to become more service-oriented or going to the length that Microsoft is expanding software access. First off, all three major competitors in this space are different businesses with their own SWOT. That shouldn't need to be said, but it does. You can't treat Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo the same. They may provide similar products, but their core competencies are different enough to warrant different strategies. Second, Nintendo is expanding game and brand access outside of the console. People act like this shareholder letter doesn't exist. Shout out to Game Over 30 here, who's put this missive on here and this so-called letter. Now, Game Over 30, what letter is this? I asked. So I clicked the link this morning and I was very surprised because I have been saying that when all is said and done, even Nintendo will not be able to avoid the market changes that they will eventually foresee. Our generation, the millennials, we have the view of the world, especially in gaming, from the lens that we, engage the world in and from what imprinted on us in terms of video games. Many of us played the old school Nintendo. If you're a millennial, you probably got your hands on one. Then you played the SNES, you played some arcade games, then you moved into the Nintendo 64, the Dreamcast was there in your purview, and then the PlayStation came around, and then the PlayStation 1 came around, which was a modification of PlayStation in that regard. Then you had the Xbox. I never even saw the Xbox for years. Like the first Xbox, I didn't see it till after I'd seen the Xbox 360, which is crazy, right? Then you got your hands on the PlayStation 2 and the PS3, and so our world is very different. All the while, as everything was going on, items like game changers and generational shifters like the iPhone, the Android phone, were there replacing so-called advanced phones like Nokia and all of the others. Since then, a company like Nintendo understands that very soon, those babies that we bought a Switch for are growing up to get the iPhone 19, a phone that basically will obliterate anything that the Nintendo Switch can hold for an 8-year generational cycle, 5-6 years. Because Apple and these Android companies are constantly pushing the envelope every single 30 minutes. This letter states to the shareholders and investors, as an entertainment company that creates smiles, we aim to offer a unique original brand of play that anyone and everyone can intuitively enjoy. To enable unique entertainment experiences, we place our dedicated video game platform business, integrating both hardware and software at the center of everything we do. Under this development philosophy, we constantly aim to create unique products and services that everyone can enjoy and that feel incredibly intuitive and fun to play regardless of age, gender, or gaming experience. With the dedicated video game platform business at our core, we express the appeal and value of Nintendo Switch, paired with unique game offerings like the Super Mario titles, as an experience that can be enjoyed anytime, anywhere, and with anyone. To continue invigorating our core business, our fundamental strategy is to expand the number of people who have access to Nintendo IP. Now, I'm not going to draw any conclusions here. I'm not going to do that. Okay? Just letting you know. I am tempted to, don't get me wrong, I am very tempted to yell, oh, Nintendo multiplat. But I am not going to do it. Simply because at this current moment, ladies and gentlemen, they're just basically signaling their intention. How that will look will be different when it's all put into practice. Nintendo's characters have been nurtured and grown hand in hand with the memories made by generations of consumers as they play our games. We're utilizing our characters to continue expansion into a broad range of areas, including visual content, mobile devices, theme parks, and merchandise. Bam, zabin, dem, bam. You see this right here. Do you see this? I remember telling people in my audiences that Nintendo was also a third-party publisher with the 5 or 7 games that they put on mobile. Now, some people have said, well, since 2017, they haven't put a single game on mobile. And I'm like, I know. But that doesn't relieve them from being a third-party publisher because they have simply put these games on the App Store by Android, by the App Store by Apple, and the Android Store, Google Play, by the Android and whatever the heck it is that runs that thing. They have Mario Kart Tour, they have Animal Crossing, Fire Emblem Heroes, Super Mario Run, Pikmin Bloom. Now, I gotta say, has this been profitable for them? We don't know. But they got it as a backup plan. If things start to shift and people no longer are basically jumping in hordes to buy a new console device for $300-$400, man, I tell you what, you're gonna see these games show up on PC on mobile so fast, you would not believe it. Through these incentives, we aim to continue to create points of contact with consumers, deepen their fondness for Nintendo IP, and ultimately spark their interest in our dedicated video game business. In addition, we work to develop and maintain good long-term relationships with each of our customers. Nintendo account plays a key role to these efforts as the connection point that spans platform generations and unites a variety of entertainment experiences centered on our integrated hardware, software, entertainment. Based on our belief that the true value of entertainment lies in its uniqueness, Nintendo will strive to achieve sustainable growth and increase its corporate value by offering unique entertainment that plays to company strengths, continue to adapt the times, and cherish the spirit of creativity. We humbly ask that you, our shareholders and investors, for your continued support. Game Over 30, I did not know about this letter. The entire point of this letter, according to Game Over 30, is Nintendo execs telling shareholders that the company can't just rely on Nintendo Switch or follow-up device. The business needs to expand their services to other endpoints. This is the backbone of a service-oriented strategy. If you think that Nintendo is going to continue its business strategy if it were to ever become inconvenient, then you don't even know jack squat about business. You really don't understand that you have to constantly be evolving and changing if you're going to move into a point of conversation that can bring you what it is that you desire, which is growth. They may not be as aggressive as Xbox, of which for people saying that Xbox is really aggressive and all this stuff, it's quite surprising to me because I think they're basically late. That's how I see Xbox. I think everybody else that's following Xbox and all this expansion stuff, I think that they're super duper late. I think they are. They're probably constantly using the aura of that we don't need these shifts and these changes because that's what they're creating a perception that we don't need to engage in these shifts and these changes. And they're using it to continue to solidify their market endpoint for consumers who are already in their ecosystem to expand upon them and upsell them. At some point, that particular pool is going to start to dry up. It's going to start to downward shift, of which they will then expressly need to jump in. And believe you me, they have it in their back pocket ready to go. They have it in their back pocket ready to go. PlayStation already had in their back pocket ready to go Steam for a long, long time. Horizon Zero Dawn, they made it sound like it was just this is just basically a fit. It's not going to mean that other AAA PlayStation games are going to come to PC. I mean, you think I'm making that up? Herman Holst is an interview right here. PlayStation blog, March 10, 2020. That's how I always look for it. Shout out, there's an audience member who gave me this particular resource. I owe this video. In fact, I dedicate this video to you. Goodness gracious, I can't remember their YouTube username. He literally said, and to maybe put a few minds at ease, releasing one first-party AAA title to PC doesn't necessarily mean that every game now will come to PC. He said that. Now, at the time he said that, their mind on things may have been true. This was basically at the height of them transitioning from the PS4, which is basically their most successful console that I can think of, to the PS5. So granted, he did not even, I don't think he envisioned that we would have to move our entire library, that Horizon Zero Dawn will become Horizon Forbidden West and become Spider-Man 2. I just pulled up Forza Horizon. These guys. Right? I don't think he envisioned that. But what is the reality? The reality is that everything is now on PC. And the ones that are not on PC are coming to PC. Announced dates, releases. I mean, it's now a pipeline thing. Very much in contrast to what was said just less than 5 years ago. Almost 5 years ago. However you want to put it. He said, in my mind, Horizon Zero Dawn was just a great fit in this particular instance. We don't have plans for any day and date PC releases, and we remain 100% committed on dedicated hardware. Well, that's changed because LEGO Horizon Adventures was a day and date release. Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered was a day one release. Until Dawn Remake was a day one release. Helldivers 2 was a day one release. Concord was a day one release. Call it what you want. Live service, remake, old game, Lego make them do it, blah, 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 blah. MLB made them do it. Call it what you want. It is still antithetical to the original plans that they had at this point. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, that at this point, MLB The Show, oh my gosh, oh goodness, MLB The Show had not yet surfaced on Xbox. Keep in mind that they were still very confident about their business, but the reality of their business was that they still needed to go ahead and earn some more money. I'm telling you, no one is safe from the market. When the market says when the market wants to move, the market moves so interestingly that all the players have to follow suit. That's it. There is no one that's immune from the market. Xbox would have been toast had they not tweaked their strategy and moved to PC day one. I foresee this statement by Herman Holst basically becoming a relic of the past about not having day one. I foresee PlayStation pretty much going insane with day one. Do you know that they've already signaled it? Oh, you didn't know? If you didn't know, they're already signaling and saying PlayStation facing no threat of users switching to PC, says Sony. They're already signaling it. They're already telling you like, hey, it's not a problem. We know you're going to stick with PlayStation. We got you. So I don't know if it's no threat, then, basically all bets are off, right? Okay. I just say I foresee. We'll see. I might be wrong. I mean, again, I would like to be correct because I don't like exclusivity. I feel like it dampens competition. I feel like these games should approach where they need to approach to fight for space. And I think PlayStation has a really good shot at doing it on PC. I feel like they do even better than Xbox. I'm convinced that they can do it. But they will have to be the ones that actually align themselves properly to doing it. All this PlayStation account nonsense, that's really going to cause them a severe issue if they don't align themselves properly. That's where they're going to have a problem. But we're yet to see how this all plays out. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Peace out.